Hey guys, so it's April and it's Autism Awareness Month, and something's going on with my eyebrow. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Levi, and honestly, I can't remember every little single thing. I wish that I had wrote things down as he got older and hit milestones that he wasn't maybe hitting when he was little and he was finally doing them. But I do know some things, just I remember some things. And I want to say this first. His autism has not defined his life. I don't even know if that's the way I should word it, or if that's even the right way to word it, but I can just say that I did not raise Levi like he's autistic. I raised him as I did my other two boys, but some things had to be adjusted, because of his autism. And I think that might be why I don't remember every little thing or didn't keep track of every little thing, because it was my everyday life, and I wasn't thinking that at one day I might have to share his life. And I don't have to share it. I mean, not like I'm going to do right now. I'm just saying, I do videos of him, and on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, there's, I always put things that Levi's done, because my family and close friends, and now my YouTube family and friends, they know that he's autistic. But I don't know how to word it. I just raised him like a normal kid. So there was, he's autistic, but I raised him normal as I could raise him. What do you think, Levi? Did I raise you normal?
Yeah.
He's eating. We just got back from buying groceries, and I remembered that I wanted to put this video out for my Tuesday video, and it's Monday. And so I have a video for Thursday coming out, but I'm thinking, well, I'll just skip. I'll change Thursdays to come out on Tuesday, and then I'll do this one. But I'm just going to do the video and edit and do all the stuff I got to do. I want to add a few pictures of him when he was a baby and when he first started school. I have an adorable picture of him that I'll post when he was in pre-K. And you know how they have the dress-up center, and he was infatuated with boots. I don't know if the boot infatuation became because of these boots that you'll see him wearing in this picture, but after that he was infatuated with boots. We couldn't go places. If somebody was wearing boots, he would get down and look at them, and it was really cute. But so I'm just gonna, I sort of made some notes so I could remember things. So I'm going to start out saying that he was not hitting his milestones. And he had one eye that crossed. It was called esotropia. Esotropia. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But, so the neurologist thought, okay, because he was 5 months old when he got his first little set of glasses. And the neurologist thought that because his eyesight, didn't have good eyesight, there may have been a connection in that with him. Because I noticed when he was little, he wouldn't reach out. He wouldn't touch your face, like when you're down and you're cooing and, he wouldn't touch your face. He wouldn't reach for toys. He had no equilibrium. Even at 5 months old, if you went to Walmart and put him in the buggy, he couldn't sit up. He couldn't sit up. You couldn't put that little pad thing in the seat and strap him in, and he'd just sit there. He wouldn't sit up. He had nothing. And so the doctor thought, his neurologist thought, that once he started wearing glasses, that he would start catching up with the things he hadn't done, and he would just be a little behind. And I honestly, and I just told somebody this recently, I don't keep up with what's going on in the autism world because I've got autism right here in my house. So I just know that when he was little, they did not and would not even test him for autism until he was around 5 years old. So for years, he was labeled PDD, Pervasive Developmental Disorder. And it is a branch of autism, but it's pervasive developmental disorder. We don't know exactly yet what it is. So it's pervasive developmental disorder. And he was about 5 in school when they changed his label to autistic. So, but by 5 months, he started wearing his glasses, and within days, his balance started coming in, came back, or he first got it, because I guess he'd never had it. He cried a lot when he was a baby. I mean, he cried and he cried and he cried all the time. It was a real hard time when he was an infant because there was not hardly any non-crying. But when he got his glasses, that kind of stopped too. I think he had headaches. Now that's just my opinion. I don't know. But I think, when your eyes hurt, when you're straining your eyes, it can make you have a headache. I think he had headaches. I think the blurred vision and stuff, and that just may be me. That's what I think. Because when he got his glasses, he stopped the crying all the time. In fact, the only time he didn't cry was when I'd give him a little Tylenol thinking that something was hurting. And I'm thinking, well, the Tylenol made his headache go away for a little while. Then he started crying again. I don't know. That's just my take on his crying when he was little. He cried all the time. But like I said, when he was 5 months old, he started wearing glasses, little thick Coke bottle glasses. And the crying stopped. His balance came. And he started reaching for things and doing the things that he had not been doing. And one of the reasons why I was worried when he was a baby. And the doctor did, like I said, the neurologist did say that they thought that he would catch up eventually and that the glasses was what was holding him back. Levi, I will say this, that Levi is still supposed to wear glasses when he is reading or when he's on his computer. He doesn't read. He honestly should probably be wearing them when he's making his list because that is a form of reading even though he's just writing lists. But just as every day when we're running around the house and going places or doing things, when he's watching TV, he does not need his glasses. The astrophia was corrected by the glasses. He no longer has the one eye that pulls. I know that when he was 3, well, not quite 3. He started school when he was 3. When he was somewhere between 2 and 2.5, I called the Cleveland School District pre-K department because I knew at the pre-K campus, well, they had a special needs. And, I guess they had special needs all the way up through school, but Levi would need that pre-K special needs program. And, I spoke with their pre-K, their special needs teacher, or I maybe would say coordinator or head teacher, was Heidi Bassett at the time. I loved her. I can still see her in my mind. Really curly, short hair. She was adorable. She was so good with him. All the teachers he's had throughout school were wonderful teachers. except for a north side teacher he had when he was at north side, which is 4th and 5th grade. No, was it 4th and 5th or 3rd and 4th? Levi, when you were at north side, was north side 3rd grade and 4th grade, or 4th grade and 5th grade?
4th grade.
And what? 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th? Huh?
3rd grade.
3rd grade? 3rd and 4th grade? He's so smart. He had a horrible teacher then. She wasn't a teacher, she was a teacher's aide. And I remember she did something to him that his teacher called me and she said, I almost went to jail. She said she wanted to beat her, you know what. She said she just didn't have, and I think they even eventually moved her from special needs. In my opinion, I think that it's hard to handle special needs kids, but maybe you just don't have the mentality to be with kids at all. Don't just, because she's a problem in this department, move her to this department. If she wants to stay in a school district, move her to custodian or something where she's not one-on-one with children, in my opinion. But she did get moved from, and his main teacher, there was another teacher's aide, Miss Crystal, that told me some things that she had observed with that same aide. And we had a problem. But yeah, so I called Heidi. Didn't know who she was then, but I called and needed to speak with them. And all I wanted at the moment, hold on, what you got? Yeah. At the moment, all I wanted her to tell me was how to make him talk. He didn't talk. He didn't really even mumble, because she basically said, accept anything that sounds like the word you want him to say. She said, don't just, you know, because you're his mother, you know what he's wanting. When he goes to the kitchen, he wants this or that. She says, if he wants a cookie, make him say cookie as close to possible. Repeat it, make him repeat it back to you. It may not sound like cookie at first, but eventually it will. And she said, do that. And then she also said, get him enrolled for the pre-K 3 program. And from there on, that's how it went. Now, I know he's not as loud and talkative on these videos, but he don't shut up. And he remembers everything, and he repeats everything. And you have to say, don't ever say that again. Mama should not have said that about that person, so don't say that ever again. Don't ever say it. Anyway,
don't ever say that.
yeah. That's what I tell you all the time. Don't repeat what Mama says. So, after he got into school, his talking started. It was not overnight, but it was a work in progress, and he just got better and better. They advised me to hold him back. I think it was his 1st grade school year. So when it was over, instead of him going into 2nd grade, they advised me to maybe he would retain more information if we sort of repeated some of his years. I did it that first time. So he repeated 1st grade twice. I believe it was 1st grade, maybe in 2nd grade, but he repeated one of those grades twice. And after that I said, no, he doesn't forget anything. The summer comes and he goes back to school and he still knows everything he left knowing the year before. We're not doing that anymore. We're not going to hold him back. I knew that I wanted him mainstreamed as much as possible when he got into junior and high school, where classes were being shifted and kids were changing and they were in the halls and they were going to, here and there. I wanted him running and messing and moving around with those kids. I didn't want him with special needs kids only. And I do not want to hurt anybody's feelings when I say this. I'm just telling you in what I was observing with Levi, that there were some special needs kids that, okay, I'll talk about one that rode his bus. She was nonverbal. It's just a lot of sounds and noises, but she didn't talk. I don't know what her disability was. Levi called her Scipia, but her name was Cynthia. I know that she hit. I know that was something that she did. She would slap and hit, but she would do something with her hand. She would do this, or she did something. What did Cynthia do with her? Where are you in this camera? You remember Cynthia on the bus? What would she do with her hand? Do it.
No, do it.
I want everybody to see what she would do when she was on. She shook it. She would do this stuff. And he started doing it all the time. And then there was one that made sort of like Cynthia, but it was a different student that did a lot of sounds, and he started making those sounds. And so he was, he was copying what he was seeing. And I told him, I said, I want him mainstream. When I need him into some classes that he can do, or a teacher that will, change the curriculum to something that he can do, adjust it, modify it to. And for the most part, we had really good teachers that did that. But they babied him too. I'm going to tell you that, not babied him. They spoiled him. When he was still at the pre-K program, when I would come to pick him up sometimes, he would have a Sonic drink because the teachers loved him so much that when they would take their break, they would take turns. Some would go get lunch for this group, and then the next day somebody else would go get lunch for the group or whatever. Levi always got something, and he always got a Dr. Pepper. But they loved him, and they still love him. I have so many sweet, things about Levi. What Levi taught them as teachers. Miss Brenda was one of a teacher that I loved to death, and he loved her. Miss Carlene. He had really good bus drivers. Miss Diane, Miss Geneva, Miss Lady was an aide. She's passed away now, but we loved her on the bus. Levi, do you remember any other bus drivers besides? After Miss Diane retired, Daddy come from a big bus to the special needs bus, so he became Levi's bus driver those last 2 or 3 years. I was hoping, which was good, that Dad became his bus driver. If Dad hadn't have done that, I really wanted Diane to hang on long enough that Levi would graduate and she could retire after that, but she didn't. She left a couple of years earlier. But he had really good bus drivers, people that loved him. Everybody loved him at the bus barn. Levi was riding my bus. I don't remember how old he was, but I know he had to have, before they would let him on the bus, he had to have a couple of rounds of shots. His vaccinations. And then the next year when school, he was born in August. I didn't go to school right then. I went, a couple of months before I went back to school. Maybe that was when he started riding. But when I got my bus, they had taken it. I had an old bus, no AC, no seat belts. It was an old bus. It was a bus that I brought home because my route was in the area where we live out here in Plum Grove. And the guys at the bus barn put a seat belt in that front seat. The one where if I'm driving, I could look over and he's right here, just a little bit back, but in that first seat to the right. And, oh my gosh, the girls fought to sit with the baby. And it was good because I could always count on one of those girls sitting there with a a bottle in his mouth. Even though they weren't allowed to take him out and hold him, you know, because he was strapped in a car seat, they could hold a bottle for him, things like that. Don't turn that off yet because I don't want it to get dark. But yeah, he started riding the bus when he was little bitty and rode my bus in a car seat all the way up until he started school at 3. And I'm trying to think, did he ride? He may have still been riding my bus because he couldn't maybe legally ride a special needs bus and like on his own as a student until he was 4, I think. So 3-year-olds couldn't ride the bus. I mean, couldn't ride the special needs bus. So he would ride the bus with me. I'd get off the bus. I'd take him to school. And then I'd pick him up from school and put him back on my bus every afternoon and every morning. And then when he turned 4, he was able to ride the special needs bus because he was of pre-K age. And anyway, so that was that. So I just wanted to, you know, if you got babies that you realize something a little bit is not right when they're little, when they're not hitting those milestones for you, have the doctor check. But I'm going to tell you, it's not always the most horrible thing in the world, because he is a blessing. He can drive me crazy, but he can be the light in the mornings here too. He never fails to surprise me with the things he says and does. He never fails to surprise me when the radio station changes and I say, I haven't heard that song in a long time. I think that's so-and-so. And he'll say, no, it's not. It's Keith Whitley. Or no, it's not. It's Toby Keith. Or it's just someone random that you don't, Clint Black. You know, Clint Black's not really out there that much anymore, but he can tell you it's Clint Black, and have I ever bought you a Clint Black CD? I don't think I ever have.
I need one.
He needs one. That's what he just told me. He needs a Clint Black CD. But I've never bought him one. But he'll tell me that's Clint Black. So I have to Google. Yeah, that was Clint Black. He just is amazing to me.
One of his CDs, never bought them.
Okay, I'll get you one. All right, so I'm going to finish up this video. Do you want to come over here and sit by me for a second and tell everybody hi? Over here on this side. So this is Autism Awareness Month. And this is a beautiful face of autism. You want to tell everybody hi?
Hi.
You want to tell everybody bye?
Bye.
Tell them to have a great day.
Great day.
You're like, literally, I'm fixing to fall over. You're too heavy on my... Levi, you're pushing me. You're pushing me. All right, we're going to go, guys. We'll see y'all later. Send me messages. I'll take some personal messages if you want to ask me anything, if I can help you. If you're going to ask me for websites to go to or pages or something or information, I ain't got it. I don't got it because, like I said, I raised him as normal as I could, so we didn't go through. I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. Some woman came to his school when he was in pre-K and told me this mess about when he has meltdowns, to hold him and take a brush, a hairbrush with soft bristles, and brush him until he calms down. No, ma'am, we're not going to be brushing him at my house. He's going to be in timeout. Pause that TV, please. So I'm going to throw some pictures in here. Hopefully YouTube won't say that they're not my pictures or something and do some kind of copyright mess, because they are my pictures. They're my boy. So y'all can just see a few little pictures of him when he was little with his little glasses and things he did. And like I said before, if you just want to, you know, tell me about your experiences with your children, or someone you love, or if you're thinking or worried about something, I'm here to listen, but I don't have answers. I wish I had answers. I'm here to listen and we can talk, but all I can tell you is my experience with Levi. So, anyway, I've got to let Honey in the house. She's barking at the door. So y'all have a blessed day, and hope y'all enjoy the video, and I'll see y'all next time. God bless.